All right. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Tommy here, and I'm a black Latino man. Excuse me, I'm a black Latino trans man living in Florida. And if you're new to my channel, this is my story of the IVF process with me and my partner. I'll be talking about things that are very personal to me and also just things about my life. This is a little vlog that we're doing, right? So, uh, if you've been keeping up with me, I've talked about, you know, is that we're in the beginning stages of the IVF testing. So far, I've done two tests. I did the third one today, where they check your organs to see if things um, are working properly. Um, so I want to make this video now that it's fresh and I can be very transparent without having to think too much about what I'm going to say. So you're getting this raw at the moment that it's happening. I had a lot of feelings today. Like I literally had tears in my eyes as I was driving down to the office, and I really hadn't thought about the things that were coming to my mind. Living in Florida or just living in the state of awareness that I live in, I'm very aware, and that is my gift, and it's also my curse. I want to bring a kid into this world, and I want to start a family. I have a myriad of reasons. Um, some of them are selfish. Some of them are very much about me wanting to create a family because I don't want to be alone in later on in life. Some of them are because I feel like raising a child to be empathetic and be compassionate and be what I believe this world needs is is important, especially in this day and age, right? Like it's not remissed on me or it's not missed on me that we are in a state of war in this country and we're in a state of war abroad. Not only as a member of the LGBT community, I'm kind of used to the culture wars. I'm used to, conservatives either picking on the LGBT for whatever reason. They're constantly at our throats. Excuse me, I have a cold today. I mean, if you think about it, you know, don't ask, don't tell. When they finally got to repeal gay marriage, Stonewall. You look at the history of the United States, and trans and gay people are always at the forefront of being a punching bag. Kind of used to that. And as much as it is being accepted, and it's more accepted today than it was yesterday. I totally get it. But we can never let our guards down. So I'm used to that. On top of that, I'm a black man. And I see the racial disparities and the arguments that we're all having. Uh, some of these arguments shouldn't even exist anymore because we are enlightened beings. But there's some people who are just so stuck in the past and so afraid of equity and equality because of what that will bring. And I am now thinking that I'm going to bring a tiny human into this mess. And am I ready for that? I also was having some feelings about my own body. The doctor told me as soon as he heard how old I was that there are going to be a lot of complications. And as a trans man, I do not want to carry a child. That I knew that in the beginning. I am going through this process so we can get the egg, but I don't want to carry the child. And it's kind of funny. I really look up to all the trans guys that you know have the balls to carry a child in this world and have the baby bump in the whole nine, knowing that people are going to react horribly to them. And that is a dangerous situation. I do not know how they navigated it, but they navigated it. I feel like in the work that I do and how the world perceives me outside of this channel or outside in my everyday life, I didn't have that luxury. I didn't have the luxury, and I damn well don't have the courage, honestly. Because I think when you go against the grain in society, even if you're not really trying to, you have to grow an extra set of skin. You have to. You don't have another choice. If you are any part of a marginalized community, especially if you're the LGBT and you are like in the trenches, if you're a butch woman or a feminine man or you're non-binary, they're catching a lot of heat. If you're a person who is trans and doesn't pass on a day-to-day basis, that is a dangerous thing because there are some people who hate you so much they would want to cause harm, bodily harm, and unalive you and forget that you're human and also forget that killing is wrong. With no way you can cut it. I'm thinking about all these things as I'm driving to the office and I'm like, wow, the world just feels so heavy. It feels so heavy. And it makes me sad and I know that you're probably not expecting this type of video from me because I'm usually a very positive person, and I still am a very positive person, and I'm gonna figure this out. But these are the feelings that I'm feeling right now, and like I told you, I want to be transparent in this video and in this series. As someone who is trans masculine, I know that everything's gonna be all right because everything always ends up all right. Somehow, some way, I always land on my 2 feet. Somehow, some way, I'm going to figure this out, and I'm going to enjoy the beauty of having a family. But it also like makes me sad to know that there are people who are dead set on making my life harder than what it needs to be. Because you have to. If you don't do that, then it makes the way you believe in your religions and so on and so forth true, right? Because if you let me live like peacefully, then I don't know. I don't know what that does to you. I don't know what that does. I really get that part. You know. I think the reason why I don't get it because I'm really of the live and let live mentality, uh, and I mean that, and I'm that way to almost to a fault, right? I feel like you should do whatever it is you need to do to make yourself happy, and within that realm, I shouldn't tell you what to do as long as you are not hurting anyone else or doing something to unalive yourself. But even in that case, what if you have a terminal illness and you only have 6 months to live and you're suffering? Who am I to tell you, well, not to do something? Like I really believe in bodily autonomy. When people want to bring the God thing in, I'm like, either God's a superior, all-knowing being and He's in control, or you are. I'm sorry, that's the way I feel about it. Sometimes I feel like, the way that we are taught religion is that God's supposed to be this all fearing, this all knowing, all omnipotent. Nothing happens unless God allows it to. But yet you have these Christians trying to control everything that you do. And I don't mean all Christians because I am around some very progressive LGBT Christians. I'm also around Christians that I grew up with that don't really subscribe to hateful nature and that make me feel loved and seen. You know who I'm talking about. And I still don't understand when it was Christianity's time to wage war on a marginalized group of people. I never ever go into a LGBT space and then say like, oh, so we got to go and figure out how to make Christians' lives a lot harder, so they can't go to church and pray. They can't do this, dude. So your religion's already covered. You can do whatever you want to do, you know. And it makes me hurt for the state of the world because I feel like Christians that do that, um, that preach hate, right? All they really do is cause separation. That's why so many people are leaving the church, or they go to church and they get involved, and what they get is a bunch of judgmental people in some circumstances. I'm not saying all, you know. Hmm. But I digress. It just I'm a little frustrated. So if you hear frustration in my voice, it's because I am, and I haven't yet processed my feelings. I may make this video and decide to take it down. I may never put this video up. I may decide that it's a little too heavy. But again, is it really heavy, or is it the reality of where I'm at? I'm living in a state where, take away the trans part, right? Where they went after IVF, right? So if me and my girlfriend, right, decide that we want to go have a baby, they were trying to take that away from us not a few months ago, you know. Or what if the baby is stillborn or something like that? Like, it's a dangerous thing to have a child nowadays. And it's dangerous. Not only dangerous now, but now it's expensive. You know, and I'm thinking about the state of Florida and the inflation that we're feeling here. Those are all those things that are weighing on my mind. And some of those things are because I am trans and I'm black and I'm queer and I'm Latino. And some of those things are just because I am a human being. And those are the things that you have to think about when you're going to try to start a family. I think about a lot of things. In fact, I spend entirely too much time thinking and not enough time like just relaxing and letting be and knowing that I am going to be okay no matter what. To be 100% transparent. That's why I'm so positive, because when you are raised in a way that you have to work on your self-esteem and your positivity every day, you learn to make a lemon out of lemonade. You learn to make beautiful sculptures out of like clay. You learn to do that stuff. So although, again, I've said this before in other videos, I know that I have a lot of challenges. My challenges are good. I am just frustrated a tad bit because I wish to God, and I mean that with my whole soul, that the people that dislike me so much, that are in politics, that are in churches, that are in schools, would just learn to love themselves so hard that they would never wish harm on another person. Have a blessed day.